So, do you know how many websites exist online, more or less? There are actually 200 million websites that are actively updated and visited. Yep, that's a lot. So, how you can compete with all these websites? By making your website professional, user-friendly, and visually appealing. By the way, my name is Amandine, and I'm a web designer here at Odoo, and today we will see how we can achieve that. So don't forget to scan the QR code to ask your question at the end. So our agenda for today will be the branding and theming, where we will talk about colors and images. Then we will move on to the structure and navigation and focus on header, footers, and call to action. Then we will see how we can make a clean design. And finally, use the website builders option and see some new cool features from V18. So branding and theming. Branding is like a signature style of clothing. It's what makes your company different from the other and memorable for your users. And it is also what makes your website stand out from your competitors. So when we talk about branding on a website, we talk about a good and visible logo, typography, colors, and images. But today, let's focus on colors and images, as another designer will make a talk about typography later. And usually, when you come to design your website in Odoo, you already have a logo. So let's dive more into the colors. Here on the slide, you see that you have two different color palettes. The first one is a kind of a neon palette, and the second one is more of a softer palette. And you see that the first one gives a feeling of energy, brightness, and playfulness, and the second one gives a feeling of coziness, warmth, and relax. So you can really see how two different color palettes can affect your emotion and perception. So how to use colors on your website? First, the number of colors. Don't use too many colors. I would recommend to use 3 main colors and keep 2 light and dark for contrast. Then, speaking of contrast, use high contrast color. There are online tools to help you check your contrast. You can take a picture of the slide to have the link. And finally, think of disabled people. Some people will not see the colors the way you see them. So it's really important to keep that in mind and having a high contrast colors. And finally, consistent. Keep your area of business in mind. So we saw on the previous slide that color palette can affect your perception and emotion. So for example, if you have a lawyer office, you should really have a serious palette that reflects the professionalness of your company. But if you have an event website or a festival website, you can use really colorful neon palette to have the feeling of energy and party mood. And now, let's see how we can add colors in Odoo. Oops. Let's just do that. So, the first thing to do to access the edition of Odoo is to open the Edit panel with the Edit button. Then you can go to the Theme tab. And when you go to the Theme tab, you will see that you have the first thing that you see is your color preset. So, of course, for your company, you don't want the purple Odoo, I assume. So let's see how we can change that. So let's go to my mood board. So here I made a mood board for my company. And as my company is a selling lamp e-commerce, I want to give the feeling of coziness. So you can see that I applied the software palettes on my mood board. So let's just copy the hexadecimal code, because to apply colors in Odoo, you just click on the little dot of colors, and then you will see that you have the hexadecimal code here. So it's really simple. You just paste the hexadecimal code of your company, and it's already adapting directly. So below that, you see that you have what's called the color preset. Let's open that and see what happens. You see that automatically Odoo generates 5 color palettes that you can use to your website. And then if you open that and you don't like the preset that they are offering you, you can edit that. And we see that on this one, I see that my contrast is not looking really great. So let's just change that and add a black color to my secondary button. So perfect. Now we have colors in Odoo. Now that we have the colors, let's talk about images and visual. We know that in today's world, people focus more on visual than text. So this is why your images are really important on your website, and they are too often underrated. So the images on your website should be in good quality. Why in good quality? Because bad images or pixelated images can make your website look not professional. They should also be optimized. So you need to find a good balance between good quality image and optimized image. And why they should be optimized? Because it's really important for the loading speed of your website and for your SEO. Don't include text on your images. Images should only be images and text should only be text. Why? Because your text will not be referenced by Google and you don't want that for your ranking and the SEO. And finally, use personalized image. So the best thing that you could do is to hire a photographer. But if you run a small business, you don't always have the ability to hire one. But to remedy that, there are some bank images online. Some of them are free, some of them are not free. So here you have a list. But here in Odoo, we use the first one, it's Unsplash. So let's see how we can add images on my website. So again, edit, and let's add an image to my banner. So to do that, let's go to the little photo icons. And I told you that Unsplash, we use Unsplash in Odoo. And what is really cool is that you don't need to install anything. It's already there by default in every database in Odoo. The only thing you need to do is to type the keyword for what the picture you want to find. So here I want a picture of a lamp, as I am selling lamp. So let's scroll down a little bit to see what Unsplash offers me. And let's select this one. I think it's looking good already. When you add the background image on your website, you see that you have some options that will be displayed. So you have the cover. You can change a cover or repeat pattern. If you have a pattern, for example, a logo, you can repeat the pattern. Sometimes it's looking cool. Then you have the filter. And what we will focus on today is the format and the quality. So you see that the format is already in WebP. So this is really nice, and it's features from V17. So why it's important that it's in WebP? Because it's the better conversion, it's better optimized version, and it's the one that is better for Google and the ranking. So you don't need to do anything. The only thing to do is to put your JPEG or PNG or whatever, and it will automatically change it to a WebP. And then we have the quality. So here I have my drag and drop quality. Let's see what happens if I put the lowest quality. So, of course, my website will load super fast. But you see that it's not looking professional. The picture is pixelized, and this doesn't want me to buy lamp on my website. It doesn't give me the one to buy lamp on this website. So let's see if we put the highest quality. So if we put the highest quality, all right, it's looking really sharp, it's looking really good, but my website will load so much slower. And again, this is not really good for the SEO. So what I would advise you is to keep the number that Odoo recommends. Don't change anything. You can play around, but I think normally it's the best option that you have. So this is for background image, but let's scroll down a little bit and add an image to my blog. So here I have an about our company block. So let's just change the picture. So you have the ability to add an image by clicking on the replace button, or you can just double click on the image and it will open again the media panel. So here I used Unsplash, but you of course want to add also your own images. Just to do that, it's really simple. You just click on the upload an image button. It will go to your computer and you can add your own image. So let's just use this one. And voila, you have your images. So again, on the image, you have a lot of options that are displayed. So we have the shape. We will talk about that later. you have the description, tooltip, you have the ability to change your ratio of your image here also on this icon. So you can say, I want a square image, I want a landscape image, and etc. And then you have also the format, the size, and the style, and etc. But one that we will talk about today is the description. Again, we know that we talk about SEO a lot, I know, but it's really important to put a description. Why? Because for blind people, for example, the robot that will read your website will read this description, so they know that what picture are displaying here. So the good practice is to type keywords, simple keywords that also reflect the goal of your company. So let's just say lamp, cozy, sofa. And now let's save all of that, and we have our images in our website. Now that we have colors and images, let's talk about structure. So when we talk about structure on a website, the first point is the navigation. You want your user to navigate between your pages. And how they can achieve that? With the header. The header is the first thing that your user will go to find the information they are looking for. This is why your header should be simple and straightforward. To do that, I would advise you to use simple language for links, such as about us, contact us, and etc. Then limit the number of links. So in a website, we recommend a maximum of 7 items. So just keep it below 7. And if you have a big e-commerce and big e-commerce category, what you could do to help you with that is use the mega menu. And then respect convention. There are conventions online, and they are there to help your user find easily what they are looking for. So some of the convention you can find for header is the logo. It's usually located at the top left of your website. Sometimes it's also at the center, but you all usually have your logo. Then you have the items of your menu items. They can be located also at the right side. And then you have some elements that you usually find on the website. For example, for an e-commerce, you always have the access to the cart. You also have the sign-in button, the login, the access to the portal. You have the wish list, and also you have the hamburger menu for mobile. And usually these come in form of icons. So let's just see how we can edit our header with Odoo. Again, we open the edit button. You know the drill by now. Let's just click on my header, and then you see that I have a lot of templates available in Odoo, but let's just keep the first one. I think it's looking good. Then you can change the background. So we talked about contrast earlier. So you see that my logo is white, and we don't see it on the header because the contrast is not good. So let's just add a dark background, and it's already looking better. So this is a good example of the use of contrast. Then let's see the option that the website builder offers. Let's just remove the shadow. Then we have the header position. I like this option because it usually gives a really nice effect. What it does is that it puts the header above your banner. So if you have some cool picture, it can really give a cool effect. And then we have the ability now to change the text color, because sometimes when you put that option, the link will be in black on black, so you can edit that. And then we have the elements. So remember I talked about convention. This is where you should find all this information. So you have the text, the search, important also on the header, the login, sign in, the logo, the cart, and etc. You also have the ability to push social media icon. What I will do is just remove the text block because I want my header to be the simplest it can be for my user. You see that my option changed up. I put my text in white, and it's looking good. Finally, I will change the alignment and put it on the right side to have a better balance, to have a better design. So let's just save that and see how we can add a mega menu for our e-commerce category. Let's go to the site, Seats, Menu Editor, remove this one, and add a mega menu item. Let's call it Category. save it. Now that we have our category, we can edit it, go to the mega menu, and we have a new features from V18 that is really cool, is the ability to put already the e-commerce category. Let's refresh. And now I have directly my e-commerce category that are displaying here. So it's kind of a new features from V18, really cool. So the second type of navigation in my website is the footer. It's always located at the bottom side of my website. And it's also where the user will go if they don't find what they are looking for. This is why your footer should include important links. This is also where you usually find the links to the legal pages and the contact information of your company. So the text, the phone number, the address, and the social media icons. And now, why should we use call to action in our website? Because call to action ensure a better conversion rate and navigation between your pages. You want your user to stay on your website. You don't want them to leave on the homepage. You want them to go from pages to pages, discover your product, your about us, your company. And this is why you should use call to action, to redirect them to the other pages. And to do that, you can use button or the call to action section that we have in Odoo. And here are some do's and don'ts regarding your buttons. So be clear in your labels, the text of your button. Have a good priority among your buttons, so primary and secondary. So primary buttons are from primary action, secondary buttons are for secondary action. So for example, if you have an e-commerce, the shop should be the primary button and the about our company, the secondary, if you put them right next to each other. And then have clear action. Shop our products, discover more, learn about our company, contact us, really clear action so they know what they are going. On the don't side, don't make your button look like links. Button is for button, links are for links. Don't use bad contrast in your button. Again, we saw that disabled people should sometimes don't see colors the way we are, so they should see your buttons. And don't primary action and secondary action at the same level. So here are we can set up our buttons with Odoo. So let's go again on the edit pad, and the theme is where you find all the buttons option. Let's scroll down a little bit, and you see that you have the primary style that is fill, and normally the default will be the fill option. But why I selected the outline? Because as I told you, I want them to be different, primary and secondary. You could do that by having different colors, but I like having different also filling, because colors, again, some people don't see colors the way we saw it, so it's fine to have two different behaviors. Then let's add a little bit of padding, because I like my buttons to be more big. And finally, let's add some rounded corner. Why? Because I want my company to have a feeling of coziness, so I want kind of a rounded feeling. So easy as that to change my buttons in Odoo. Now, how can we make a clean design using Odoo? Make it simple but significant. This is really a good quote when you design a website. The simplest your website is, the easier it will be for your user to use. And less is more is really something that I always keep in mind when designing a website. And how can we do that? By having the content first, use meaningful and only meaningful content. As I told you, people now focus more on visual. They don't read a lot online, so just keep it short, keep it simple, have little short text, only meaningful text. The structure, the hierarchy, it's the arrangement of all the design elements in order of importance. So for example, if you have a heading, you want them to see that it's a heading. So how you can do that? By putting a bigger font, or maybe a color, or a different typography, because you want them to see that this is a heading and this is a text. For example, you see that my heading here are center, they are in different fonts, and you see that this is a heading and then this is the text. So this is a good example. And then structure your content for your SEO. So you should only have one header one in your page, And then the subtitle for every section should be a header 2. Then if you have subtitle in your section, header 3, and etc. And finally, white space. Don't be afraid to use white space. In website, white space is your friend. But what is white space? White space is the negative space between your element. So here, a good example is that you see that I have my 3 columns, and I have white blank space between them. So I can really see that this is a section about the first thing, this is the second section, and this is the third section, and there are different information. So this is also white space, will help your content to be more scannable for your user. So the section should have white space between them so that they can see that there are different sections with different information. And finally, use all the options to your advantage. So let's see how we can design a website with Odoo. So I have the base of my website. So you see that, let's scroll down a little bit. So I have my website. It's looking okay. I just dropped the building block in Odoo, and it's already looking nice. Sorry, the contrast is not looking good. Normally you should have different colors, but it's already looking good, but I think we can make it better. We can make it more design. And the first thing that I usually do when I design a website is adding padding and white space. So, for example, this is a good example. You see that these 2 sections are so close to each other, so we don't see if there are different information. So let's just add white space and padding. Let's just add it here also. You see my title is really too close to my product. It's not, we want to breathe on a website and to have a space. Let's add again here, a little bit of here. I told you it's the first thing that I do is to add spacing. And now we see that it's already looking a little bit better. The information are displayed a little bit better. Now, what we can do is to highlight some of the words. So, for example, here I want the name of my company to be a little bit more emphasized. How we can achieve that? By using a different color for my word. Yes, and you see that the name of my company is already different. But what we could do also is to use the highlight from Odoo. And let's just put it a little less thick. See that it's already looking a little bit better, a little bit designed, a little more blank. Let's do that again for the other heading. Just have a highlight, put it on 2 pixel thickness, and you can do that for every heading. Here you want them to see that this is your best seller. So let's emphasize our best sellers. Right? Highlight and 2 pixels. And speaking of header, we talked about SEO and structure. So you see that this heading, I think it's looking a little bit small. I don't see that it's a really good heading, and I want new this week to be displaying better. So let's just change it and put a header 2. And you see that already we have a structure. This is the same heading. This is the same heading. All right. Now that we have that, let's see how we can make this section better. Move that here. So this is a new block from V18. I think it's looking great as it is, but we can make it more design. We can add the designer touch. So first thing, let's use the shape in Odoo. I think I will select this one because as I'm home selling goods, I think it's looking like a window. So I think it goes with my branding. Keep in mind that we want to be consistent. What I will do also, my branding is really important. I took a lot of time designing my logo, and you see that I have kind of a sparkle, a sunshine icon. Let's use that to our advantage because it's what represents my company. It's my branding. It's what makes me different from my competitors. So let's just change this block and make it on the grid size. Why? Because it will allow me to add an extra image on the block. So my little sparkle. Let's not use this one. Let's use the other one. Yes. And you see that I will put it on contain, not cover. Then let's move it a little bit. And let's put it right over there. And after, so you can change the order of element here. So you can display it before or after. Little bit bigger. And you see that it's really giving a cool effect. So with simple click and simple option, you can add a designer touch. So don't hesitate. What I wanted to show you there, don't hesitate to explore the option and use workaround. So sometimes we will have borders, but you can use them on different blocks. And just, I will quickly show you, because I'm running out of time, but let me just quickly show you one. Oops. So you see this block, it's looking like that, but I will not use it as it is. So let's just quickly add, yeah, I think I have to finish, so let's just conclude here. So in conclusion, everything is designed, few things are designed well, and thanks to today's talk, now you can design well too. Thank you.